All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the broadcast here. Here we are, game number 3 in this matchup. We got MidOrFeed taking on Effect here in this game number 3. Again, 1-1 apiece. I know it doesn't suggest that here for some reason, but it is 1-1. And this being the third and final game. Of course, I'm BreakyCPK, joined by TraLFDota once again as your casters here. And again, a very, very interesting game number 2. I think is just the best word for it, honestly. Before we get too much into it, though, once again, if you type !SkinCoin in chat to get the giveaway information, as well as if you go to SkinCoin.org, you can check out the latest cryptocurrency on the esports market, where you can trade in for your favorite skins in Dota 2 as well as CSGO. Again, that's SkinCoin.org. But the game number 3 draft is now underway. We'll see how things move along this time here. I mean, both games, similar storylines in that one team was ahead early on, and then the other team kind of came from behind.
5 seconds
is safe to say, I guess. So, well, whoever's ahead this game, I'm sure the other team's going to win it. That's my theory. That's my guess.
That's how it goes, man. At least we didn't have a crucial game-breaking Roshan fight that, you know, swayed it by 12K like we've had in every other game. But, all right, so we got a different draft here coming out. Nature's Prophet picked up again by Effect as it was in game 1, probably for Mag. MidOrFeed respond with a Nyx Assassin plus a Lich. Bit interesting considering with Lich you go dual lanes, and when you have dual lanes, it usually means it's a relatively weaker safe lane for yourself. And a weak safe lane against Nature's Prophet is not something you want. So they do have to be a bit careful with that, especially if this is going to be a Nyx support, because I don't really know how much a Nyx can box out a Furion off lane. We'll have to wait and see. Wow, they go for a very early Invoker pick this time in game 3. Certainly he did very, very well in mid, and maybe that's the reason why. I mean, he certainly did much better than he should have in mid. He was up against a much better mid laner. He was up against a much better mid laner with Drow Aura, and he was still even on CS, if not even leading at some points, and was getting Sunstrike kills. So Cancel is proving he can be a very strong Invoker pick, but that doesn't mean it's always the best pick in every game, especially early on against a Nature's Prophet roaming you and what have you. So we saw how much Mag was roaming him when he was playing Zeus in game 1. We'll have to see if Cancel can weather the storm that is the early game here for Invoker.
Yeah, only with the 2 picks so far. Picking up that 3rd pick Invoker does seem a little risky, but that is confidence for you at the same time. You just mentioned how he had a very good last game. It's a comfortable hero for him. Clearly, they just feel like no matter what you throw at him, he'll be able to do well. And now they're also going to throw an Ancient Apparition at him, a hero that, of course, has great synergy with the likes of the Earthshaker specifically, and just in general, a very strong support hero to have. So now MidOrFeed, back to them. They already got their mid now, 3rd pick mid, so now you figure their safe lane and their off lane possibly they're looking for still. They pick him pretty quickly, and they actually end up with a Clockwork here as well. So Clock and Nyx can definitely interchange as far as who plays the off and who plays the 4 position. Is there either way for you to think that makes the most sense as Faceless Void? We've got a lot of combo coming out here.
I think Clock offlane probably I think Clock offlane probably makes more sense, because if it is a support Clock, I don't think you can do anything to this Furion. In fact, Furion's quite a big counter to Clock in a number of different ways. One, you naturally always have treants near you, and that just mitigates all of the battery assault damage. And 2, you can actually sprout him out of his own cogs with just a self sprout, even if you're in the cogs. It's kind of a weird interaction, but it does work. So Furion's a great hero against Clock. However, Clock is very good against Earthshaker and AA, so you kind of give and you take right there. They pick up the Faceless Void to set up for a nice AA ulti and maybe a Nature's Prophet ultimate on top of that. Another thing MidOrFeed could do in this game with a Lich is just secure that mid lane for Invoker. We talked about how Invoker doesn't have the greatest time laning mid against most popular mid heroes in the metagame right now, but you just throw a Lich in that lane and it kind of just makes it even, if not more advantageous for you just instantly because of the nature of Deny and Ice Armor. So that's an option that you could do, is just throw that. Again, if they do that, I'm still concerned. I still have concerns for their safe lane, assuming they do standard lanes. Just because Nature's Prophet is going to be up against a melee support, most likely. and you can really abuse them with your summons.
Yeah. They ban out Queen of Pain on the side of MidOrFeed, so matchup that did not want to have to deal with in there, and definitely would have been a very strong finish, especially when you consider the wombo combos, you like to call it, all that synergy of the Faceless Void Chronosphere. So Effect's going to have to look a different direction. We saw the Lina from the last game. Could perhaps be a pick that they're looking for here, but right now they're thinking about their final ban themselves. And again, what option do you take away from MidOrFeed? Sven is banned out. I was going to mention him there, but he is already taken away. You mentioned perhaps more of the melee focused to come. So what about something like... Okay, well, Anti-Mage taken away there, and they're going to pick Mirana. Okay.
I like Mirana. It's a well-rounded hero that works well with their stuns. And I mean, we saw, again, even though they lost in game 1, they used the Sprout arrow really nicely early on. They have Void Chrono into arrow, which is nice. Better auto attack. I'd say better auto attack animation here in mid as well. I think Mirana does beat Invoker straight up 1v1, but again, you do have to kind of factor in the Lich. And when you do factor in the Lich, now you have escape with the Mirana Leap from a Clockwork Hook cogs, potentially. So I think this is a much better rounded lineup comparable to their game 1. They have similar heroes, of course, but I think this is just a much more balanced lineup here for Team Effect in game 3 compared to game 1.
Yeah.
Now, for MidOrFeed, I'm also on the boat. I'm not quite sure what they pick for their safe lane. You want something that, again, assuming that they do standard lanes, we don't know quite yet. Maybe they do something different. But you need something that can withstand the Furion aggression with his trees. I mean, you're not going to have that strong of a support to box out the Furion. They're both melee heroes. Unless you have Lich in that lane. So they go with them. Oh, Monkey King. Okay, I like that. I think that's a good pickup.
One that can maybe deal with that, and also just a solid core to go along with that Invoker that they do have here.
Right.
So Keizu is going to be on the Clockwork, so right now it's shaping up to be that off-lane Clockwork, and then Nyx Assassin will be more of the roamer in the 4 position instead. On the other side, pretty much as expected too. So yeah, nothing too radical there. Just a matter of Tomato selecting his hero. They'll be good to go, but they go with Monkey King to finish it off again. The Wukong's command here. Going to be fun to see.
Now with this Lich, I am assuming it's going to be like a Lich Invoker mid. I don't think you want Invoker just soloing. You need to help him out. And if that is the case, that it is a bit of a curious draft in that sense. I mean, typically you want to really like abuse 2 lanes with Lich. That's the whole kind of point of picking him. You pick a strong mid lane with Lich that can dominate, and then you pick like a dual off that can also have a lot of potential. But Clock Nyx is kind of an awkward lane. I mean, that doesn't really have a lot of kill potential, and they're both kind of weird, kind of clunky stuns in their lane. And then you're leaving up Tomato solo against the Furion, which is, it's okay. I mean, with a poor man's shield, you're not going to take a lot of damage, but you are going to give a free lane to Furion. So I don't know where this Nyx Assassin's going to go. It's just going to kind of be awkward to find a home for him.
Well, so what about possibly then, as we were in a pause there, as you see, then just doing the Lich in the off lane, the Lich Clockwork, and then the Nyx Assassin just babysits Invoker mid.
That is an option. I don't know how well he babysits mid, but that certainly is an option.
Yeah. But still, no matter what, I mean, both of those do leave a Monkey King to defend for himself against Nature's Prophet, and you know that in itself is pretty, perhaps could be scary for him. So Sunstrike Scout out to start.
Prepare for battle.
And we are in it. Game number 3. Again, you gotta wonder about the mental state from MidOrFeed especially too, and it seemed like they had grasp of that game and just kept slipping out of their fingers before eventually they just simply let go, and Effect able to take it. So hour plus game results in their favor. That's why we're in the game number 3. And the wards are put down already. Wow, we got up there pretty quickly. It's an aggressive ward at the shrine area on the Dire side, and also one placed over here on the left-hand side. So some top map vision here coming out from MidOrFeed.
Yep, and it looks like they were scouting some lanes, and perhaps Monkey King. Okay, it looked like Monkey King was ready to go top, pending on, you know, whatever lanes they saw from Effect. But he is going to go back bottom. has an extra tango. So yeah, it is going to be kind of this interesting setup of Nyx helping out the safe lane Monkey King. It's just a weird lane to me. We haven't quite seen where Cinderin's going to go with his Lich. The only thing that leads me to believe is he'll be mid is that they picked up Invoker so early. Like, they're like, okay, we're ready to weather the early game storm, but perhaps we want to help him out with the second pick Lich. It does look like he is going to deny top to start. Some mid players actually don't like their mid lane to be denied now that they have the extra creep. Reason being, you can kind of play that strategically to your advantage where you just push up the lane. Like you just auto attack the lane level 1 and then push it into their tower. And if you do that, it makes it a little bit difficult to get the last hits under the tower. So we'll see how Cancel plays that. But yeah, for now, it's going to be a straight up 1v1 mid, Potom versus the Invoker.
And pretty much meets in the exact middle here as salves delivered to the Mirana to start things off. You do see the Courier on the Radiant side with the salve ready to go as well, waiting just in case of a Courier snipe, but as we can tell, that's not really being set up. Instead, you got Earthshaker at the bottom lane, and he's going to go toe-to-toe with Wee. So, as you mentioned, we got Wee down here on Nyx Assassin, trying to protect somewhat, but now Earthshaker's even down here, so Nature's Prophet should definitely be able to have a pretty good time in this bottom lane, at the very least getting some decent levels. And we'll see how active he proves to be as far as using that teleportation. So Lich, yeah, he looked like he was rotating a little bit, but no, he just stacked here in the jungle, and now he comes back to the top to immediately sacrifice once again. So it is going to be just a Lich clockwork, really, at this top lane instead. Full-time commitment.
So that's going to be priority towards the clock. So they want him to have a better start more than anything for this game. They're like, all right, Cancel, you did so well last game on Invoker with a kind of a hard setup. I'm sure you'll do fine again this game. But he is struggling a bit. We have a 9-2 Potom early on here against a 2-1 Invoker. Now he does have basically 2 creep waves coming in. So we'll see how well he's able to do as he last hits under the tower. Grant loves this part of the game, by the way.
Really put the fuck out, missed one.
He literally counts, yeah. All right, let's do this. So we counted 1, he missed. That one he'll miss. He gets that one, so that's nice. This one he might miss. Oh, he gets it, nice. Oh, that was a freebie. Yeah. Come on.
Well, that was no tower right there. That was just him anticipating a little bit too much. Yeah, maybe.
He's doing okay.
He's doing all right considering. Keizu, oh, he gets Centaur stomped by the neutrals nearby, but not really a big deal. He is just taking some right clicks from the Ancient Apparition nearby, but going to rotate over to that 2-minute bounty rune as double damage rune is picked up by Earthshaker. And he's heading back towards the bottom. Both sides doing a bit of a creep pull here. Out comes that fissure, though, and Tomato could be in a little bit of trouble. More tree spawns. Earthshaker wants to get an auto attack, but couldn't get close enough. So he'll be fine.
Yeah, but this is kind of what I envisioned here. We have a level 3 Furion compared to level 2 Monkey King, and then level 2 Nyx. So he's holding his own in this lane, and you're basically giving a free farm lane to the Furion. And this was a first pick Furion. I mean, that's kind of the risk you have, or you run when you pick a hero first, that you really want to have a good time, is you have the entire draft counter him, and they didn't really do so. So we'll have to see how much impact this Furion can have this game. Again, they are giving farm priority essentially to the clock, although hold that thought as Lich actually moves his way towards mid. So now this is what I expected to happen in the beginning, but it just took him a little bit of time to get here.
At level 2, got the armor at level 2. So also applying that to Cancel. Open him a little bit. You see the cold snaps up on Mirana, keeping her a little bit of distance. So far, right now, Mirana has the slight lead, but again, continuing to keep an eye on that. Bottom lane, they're going on to Maga, seems like. No. I mean, Nyx is running out. We got Tomato doing the Cancel animation right there with a boundless strike, but not ultimately committing to it. Doesn't want to use a good chunk of that mana. Didn't seem like that much was going to come of it, but you do see right now where we're at this specific time. Well, it was for a second, but the point is the CS, it's all top three of the 4 at least are in favor of effect here when it comes to last hitting at least. So right now that this early on laning stage does seem to be going the way of effect at this point at least.
Yeah, and again, it's very, very early on. Anything can happen, but that is a little worrisome. I mean, I do think that Team Effect have just a very well-rounded draft and very, very strong team fight. So if they're winning the lanes on top of that, then all the best.
Yeah, again, guys, to clarify, it is game number 3. Like I said, I'm not sure why The ticket didn't update here to suggest that they got a game, but they did win the last game. So this is the game 3 being the final one. Keizu rolling towards the top. Going to see Ancient Apparition attempt to do a stack right there, and this could be a kill. Battery Assault level 2. Sunstrike is not even needed. First blood draw by Keizu, and that's clockwork for you. You can just walk up to his support and traps him in the cogs, and sure enough gets the kill. The results. A nice find there from Keizu.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why Clock was picked. They already saw the AA pick, and like I said, Clock is very, very good against the supports of Team Effect. So nice start for him. Was basically it was a solo kill. So nicely done by Keizu.
Yeah, Sunstrike not even needed right there. It's kind of a just in case if he went up, but he did not. And more than enough from him. But Faceless Void still continues to do very well when it comes to last hitting Elisadoi, as the power treads queued up. I assume, especially being in this one position here, he's very likely going to go more of the Mask of Madness, you know, the Yasha, the Diffusal Manta, that style here of build. Needing him to be in the front lines, being able to deal some good damage. Invoker does have Gloves of Haste picked up on his way to the Hand of Midas now. So bottom lane, ooh, Fissure. Tried to catch Monkey King, but just a little bit to the left.
Bottom tower is under attack.
So I don't know if that would have been a kill, but didn't even give them the chance to try for it, unfortunately.
You know, one of the other things is, I was just going to say, as Monkey King is jumping into the trees there, you got to be careful of Furion cutting those trees down, you know?
True.
So that's another thing of concern here for this bottom lane, as Furion, he does now hit level 5.5. He's TPing towards the mid lane, looking for Cancel, but Cancel kind of smelled that something was up. And still pretty tanky, although he doesn't have a tree to get out of a Sprout just yet, so that should be a concern for him. Really a concern for everyone. As yeah, Keizu actually has his Quelling Blade up, ready to go, even though he does have Hook here relatively soon. So, good heads-up play from him.
Yeah, circling that ward there in the middle lane, that's what gave Cancel that information. He saw Earthshaker rotating over, and then we had the TP on top of that, but he saw the Earthshaker, so he started walking more to the left, and by the time teleportation happens, it was clearly too late. So good heads up there from the Radiant side. Top lane, as you mentioned, Keizu is level 6 now with that hook shot ready to go. So for the time being, going to be at the top lane, and again, if he catches Ancient Apparition at least by himself, that should be a free kill, especially level 3 Battery Assault now. And he is walking over. A is going to keep his distance, but feeling comfortable that he could just farm these creeps instead. Not much you can do about it. Middle lane, they're going at it here with some right clicks. Not enough, however. Sunstrike, that wouldn't be enough damage. So not worth using. Maybe like a Sunstrike rocket, but it's only level 1 rocket, and that'd be hard to land. So
yeah,
not gonna happen.
Maybe you can
there.
save the Sunstrike for a possible Clockwork Hook in the cogs. Should be a dead AA if he finds it.
Oh, or the bottom lane like this. That was Earthshaker kind of just walking in, throws out the Fissure. He gets turned though. Mag maybe get the turn kill on a Wii, sets it up for Ancient Apparition at least. So Effect does make it a 1-for-1 there.
Synderen taking some damage, doesn't have the Ice Arm on himself, now finally applies it, but still getting slowed up just a little bit. Stun coming out from Tomato to kind of keep him at bay. Maybe they still go for this kill. No, health potion pop by Synderen, he should be fine.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, you are right though. I mean, as far as Sunstrike setups, they do have a massive amount. Clockwork's a big one, and Nyx Assassin, of course, great for that as well. So I guess it's just those two, but they're very good ones in what they have.
Yeah. Really interesting build here from I feel like he had to have misclicked. He's level 7 now with only 3 points of Starstorm and 3 into Leap. 3-1-3 at 7. That had to have been a misclick. I can't imagine you would not want to max your Starstorm when you've already put 3 points into it. Also, another curious thing is I do see some. It's like it kind of phases in and phases out. But the longest time when we were seeing Potom picked up a lot, usually when the Axe build was popular, right around then, they would never forgo the ult. You would always see ult picked up at level 6. But now I've been seeing a lot of Potoms just skip it, and I have to say I'm not a fan. I think that the ult early on is what better time to use that invis initiation or way to get out of things when supports don't have a lot of money. Like, they don't have a lot of money for sentries and things. As Potom getting initiated here, only level 3 Starstorm, remember that, so it doesn't do as much damage as you would hope. The arrow does come through, the Furion ulti hits as well. Nice stun there from King R. Keizu trying to run something in the back lines. Does have a hook available if he wants to. Does hook up 2. Doesn't have the cogs, and the damage is being split from that battery assault among 2 heroes, so hook is unfortunately not that useful. Synderen taking in some damage. Does have a tree eater. Arrow off the mark, but the auto attacks will be enough.
Yeah. That was all bait there from Mirana, 100%. I mean, he stay close enough. Meanwhile, Nyx Assassin goes down at the top lane. Is that a Chronosphere? It sure was. Faceless Void, no Mask of Madness even, just the Morbid Mask, a little bit of assisted damage, but that's 3 kills just like that for Effect. But going back to the point, there's a great rotation there, smoking from Effect, that got in, got around the ward, caught him completely off guard, and started that whole follow-up that we saw. So it ends up being a 3-for-0. The middle tower takes a good amount of pressure before eventually Lich throws up the armor and Cancel gets back, so they're not going to be able to kill it. But that's the rotations you like to see if you have a Nature's Prophet on your team. And he is level 7 now himself. Drums are in queue, good to go. But like I also said, Mask of Madness for Faceless Void is 2 just about finished there for Effect. So that's a nice momentum burst for them. Again, no ultimate from Mirana here. No Moonlight Shadows, but kind of just also touching on that real quickly. I definitely see what you're saying. You know, with the supports not having that detection this early on, that seems like you're going to be getting the most value out of it throughout the whole game even. So, but choosing not to pick it up here, and as you pointed out, that does seem the more routine lately from these Miranas.
Yeah. And it's such a value point. It doesn't cost a lot of mana early on. It's only 75, and you usually always have the mana for it. So that's just a personal thing of me. For me, I just think that the Mirana ulti early on should never be forgone. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. He's TPing to the bottom lane. King R in some trouble. He gets picked off there with the Sunstrike and the hook to set it all up. So nicely done by KZU, roaming around, finding some picks.
Catching that kill the last second, but middle lane also catching this tower kill. Even with that armor out from Lich, Mac stealing plenty of right click. Now with this Trance, I mean, he already has the phase boots. Again, he has the drums picked up as we just mentioned. So that's a big tower kill to start this game off too. 11.5 minutes in. Many have suggested, I mean, for good reason, that tier 1 middle tower especially is one of the most important towers. Want to take out ASAP. Limits the mid vision as well as the control of the map from the other side. So, and they're going to move bottom.
Yeah, Smoke Gang coming here. This is a nice way to spot it out, though, as Tomato's bouncing from tree to tree. Could potentially break this if he gets close enough to them. And he will see them before they see him, unless they have some kind of lucky arrow or something. And yeah, he doesn't even risk it. They scanned. Did it even hit?
It hit,
Did it
yeah.
go right
they scanned right before he TP'd, but he TP'd like right as they hit the scan, so. They realized, because then it turned green, it's like, oh, well, maybe that's what happened, and sure enough, the top tower is not being pressured, so the Smoke King's going to come up a little short there for Effect, but, oh, Moonlight Shadows, so does have it now. Going to use it, rotation towards the top lane.
Ooh, canceled. Going to run right into this Invoker.
This setup, perfect. King R opens with a fissure. Got to be careful with the positioning with the Starstorm and the auto attack. RG keeping credit for the kill there. So also steals some of the minions to top it all off. But yeah, great find on the cancel there. Good use again of the Moonlight Shadows coming out now.
Yeah, and I don't even think they saw him there. They were just kind of roaming in and trying to find somebody. So what better person to find than the Invoker? So nicely done for them. Earthshaker now has his mana boots. No level 6 just yet, as I do believe the tome was probably taken by the AA, because he's like basically level 7. So Weehaw's running around invis. Speaking of sentries, they're going to need a batch or two, as he's looking for a kill. There's a Lich coming over here with Chain Frost. They have to know something's up if they see this Lich running around like that in the position that he's in.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, Lich wouldn't be charging into your jungle like that. I mean, maybe for vision, but there's a good chance maybe that Nyx is nearby. And sure enough, that was the case. He cleans up the Ancients, does Faceless Void though, and now he heads to the bottom lane. And going to join up with the rest of the team as they try to make their way towards the tier 2 bottom, it looks like, down here. So not the most action-packed game here, especially with what we've had in a lot of these series throughout the day, and no different today here, but only 3 to 5 hero kills now, approaching 14 minutes into this game. But we're going to be about objections here, and they're going to go for the tower bottom again, and they get the invulnerability used right away. So clearly they do want to defend this. Nyx Assassin. He'll spot a couple initially. Chronosphere is ready to go, by the way. And so the way he used it. Oh, but he only got one. He did not get the Lich. They do get Clockwork, though, and that's a better target anyways. And wow, Lich also melted in the back lines. Arrow, Wrath of Nature.
Yeah, that must have been like one of the last ticks, but Nice arrow onto the clock as well, securing the fact that he won't be able to do anything after the ult happens. There's a Sunstrike combo onto Mag. He casts a stick, he runs away with the face, he's pretty fast, and he will be okay. He actually turns back onto Wii, knowing that he doesn't have any spells. Maybe he can get a Sprout in here. They have the AA blast as well. The stun from the Fisher to follow up, and that will be a dead next assassin. As Mag is beatboxing his way back to base.
Taunting in the face, and you know what? Deservingly so. That was a well played right there, and more so, I mean, he just simply had enough stat, and that's why I like seeing the drums as well. Honestly, it's such. I feel like it's a great item to pick up early on in the game, and just get the nice stat benefit out from the bracer. And
oh, he finds the Monkey King up top. He casts the trees, but he will TP out. Okay, so yeah, he's tons of for a long time if he does fall down right there. 4 seconds.
And now he has a 4-staff too, does this Nature's Prophet. So he is actually topping the charts here. Speaking of Monkey King, it's kind of him and them two kind of going back and forth. But look at what Tomato's going, by the way. He's going to be going the Battle Fury here.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty much the standard build as of late for Monkey King. Lets you farm really, really fast. Your ult does a ton of damage. So he's going to be having that relatively shortly. Yes. Stun coming out. They do put an Echo Slam on. I think that's important that he does that, because if he doesn't, that Carapace could stop the chain of initiation and maybe not only make him live, but Monkey King was nearby that could have done something to team effect. So nothing wrong with that Echo. They get the secured kill, and Weehaw off to a slow start yet again. 0-4, unfortunately.
That's the Sentry Ward right here, the MVP for that kill. Spotted Nyx running in with the Vendetta, and then they had a Dust on top of that to guarantee the kill from Earthshaker. Up here, Ancient Apparition. He's going to be found, though. Like Cancel, a couple of Cold Snap auto attacks will do him in. And Cancel goes back to farm in the jungle now, so he died that one time earlier as he was found, but continuing to make great progress, to be fair. His Axe is actually just about finished now, just needs a Blade of Alacrity before that's going to be taken care of. So, yeah, Monkey King's interesting with the Battle Fury, too, because most heroes, like Anti-Mage, of course, comes to mind with, like, you get the Battle Fury, it's just, okay, now he farms some more. Monkey King, Battle Fury, he can ideally even fight with it pretty well.
Yeah, in fact, if anything, that's the idea behind it. You get those Jingu stacks up, and you do a ton of cleave damage, and on top of that with your ultimate, it's just a really strong combo. Weehaw getting scouted out and sprouted out, but he does have a Quelling Blade to be able to get out of that. So. And Void, he's going for your typical Treads, Mask of Madness. He's actually going for a Maelstrom after that. So he's going to be dishing out some damage.
Yeah, notice that earlier, going the Maelstrom. I was trying to think why the Maelstrom over, say, you know, the Yasha and the Diffusal, the Manta, you know, more of that style of just all-around nice stat build that we do see from time to time. But this is obviously the attack speed benefit, of course, is nice.
Attack speed benefit, added magical damage when you have to deal with a Lich Armor on top of it, so he's not going to be doing too much physical damage if they are armored. Oh, hook shot missed. Really nice juke there, actually, from Ancient Apparition. I think he got a glimpse of him with that ward uphill, and maybe Casey was like, hey, they have a ward here. As, yeah, you see the pings coming out right now. He's like, damn it, I missed my hook because there was a ward. That's usually what's said. But nonetheless, nice movement there from AA. And hook shot is on cooldown. But what I was going to say is I think maybe it would have been arguably stronger as a Diffusal Blade for Faceless Void. It's already a natural good item for him. And the fact that you're dealing with these ice armors from Lich is kind of a pain, so we'll see if maybe that's something he goes for afterwards.
Maybe he figures Mirana's also just going to be getting one. Definitely a natural build order for her. Could be. She has a Mantis Dog coming along, so perhaps some of the logic too. But yeah, against the Lich, definitely getting rid of that armor. A nice tool to have. But Alpha 9, speaking of Mirana, he's just farming up the Radiant jungle, doing so pretty freely for the time being. Currently, no vision to the right far over here, so Mirana has enough for the ultimate orb and getting the Mantis style soon to follow. How's the blink for Earthshaker? 100 more gold and he'll have it. So now that's coming
really?
for effect, yeah.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
He does have it. It is only level 1 ult, but still obviously does a ton of damage if they're clumped up. And so I really like this 4-staff pickup from Mag. Like, being able to help out your allies when they get cogged in is extremely important. And Clockwork, as a result, is going for his Force Staff as well instead of something like a Blade Mail. Typically, you like to see Blade Mail on Clock, but because there is a Force Staff on the other team, you need to make sure to counter that with your own. So they Force Staff after you hook, or you hook, you try to wait for their Force Staff, and then you Force Staff in and cogs them, so they don't have a counterplay. The other option that you can do is to hook and just run past them and push them back, and the Force Staff is not as effective. So he has options with that, but...
Lich with the Gloves of Haste pickup. I wonder if he's going for his own Midas, by the way, but hold on, I thought because top lane, we do have a wraparound here. Keizu. He's nearby. I think the smoke was, popped out right here, and now he runs back in. They do eventually see him, and the jumps come out. He's going to Chronosphere for this. Well, Mask of Madness was popped, and that's more than enough damage, actually. So did not need that Chrono, and I think Keizu just pinged right here because, again, the same case of, damn it, how did they see me? Well, that would be it. Try to counter-ward that eventually. You do see the sentry was put up here, as you were mentioning earlier, but again, they were off, unfortunately, as far as where it was.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He's not running in. He might find a free kill on this Ancient Apparition. Let's get the stun, Sunstrike to follow, and that's a freebie.
All right, well, space created, though. We'll call that. Buys time for the top tower to truly go down.
In fact, I'm not quite sure why he was just standing there. I mean, he was running down here to place a ward. It is a bit of an interesting ward, as I'm pretty sure you could get the same kind of vision by placing it up on the hill and then some. So, kind of an interesting ward. I guess this does give a little bit of vision past the tower over there, but it is kind of a curious one. Anyway, regardless, he placed it, was kind of standing around there for a little bit. They do place a sentry up here in the top. It will be in range of that, but he needs to rocket it for vision in order to kill it. And yeah, that's what he does.
Well, smart play from Keizu there. And that Force Staff, talked about the value it's going to have this game as it usually just does in general. He will have that very, very shortly. But bottom lane, Manta's finished on Mirana. The Diffusal, sure enough, is queued up next. So mentioning that, BKB is going to be next for Faceless Void, apparently, as he does have the Maelstrom now. And they're not going to find any heroes down here, but Mirana instead will just farm out more of the lane and continue off of their 10-5 lead. Again, this is, you got MidOrFeed, only 5 hero kills, MidOrFeed, excuse me, only 5 hero kills as we approach 22 minutes into this game. So has not been the kill-heavy game for them. Instead, really working off of the farm, but you do look at the net worth and go figure. The top 2 heroes in net worth right now are the Invoker and the Monkey King. So, of course, they got that going for them.
Right.
And that's a Battle Fury for you as well, Monkey King, and what it can do for excelling.
Yeah, and good thing for MidOrFeed, they did find both those wards. So Keizu found that ward behind his shrine, and they got the other one at the AA place. So the vision is lacking just a little bit here for Team Effect. As Mirana is pushing in the bottom lane, has the Mantis, so he feels a bit safe. He's going to have to force them back here at least. Pops the Glyph. We'll get some good farm and some decent damage onto this tier 3. It is ice armored by Lich, so preventing further damage.
Yeah, chipping it down a little bit, but in the end, not going to do too much to it. As the bottom tier 2, or top tier 2, excuse me, does go down in favor of MidOrFeed. Here's a Moonlight Shadows use, by the way. Ooh, yeah, see, I think they might have just barely seen something. They pinged it out at least. Clockwork did. So, I don't know if they're going to really get much out of this. They're going to come exposed now, and yeah, they didn't really run into anyone. So for the Radiant side, they do avoid a possible gank. That was to come. Chronosphere ready for Faceless. Oh, now they see him. He's just leapt in here to the Ancients. Here comes the opening, the auto attack. The sun strikes out, and boom, shakalaka. Can't take its credit.
Ulti, AA ulti coming in through. They want to fight this. Furion's TPing aggressively.
Wow.
He wasn't able to, he actually didn't have the Nature's Call, so he wasn't able to get Tomato off the trees. Needs to auto-attack him before he runs. Nope, he auto-attacks him, cancels it. If he can keep that up, then Tomato probably will be feeding here. He does cast the ultimate, does do a lot of damage with the Battle Fury, but they should have enough. He's trying to do the best he can, and he's putting some damage into Ninja. Almost gets him. Sunstrike to follow up. He's trying to juke and jive, and he does juke and jive. But with that last rocket tick, almost gets the kill. Very, very nice effort from the Radiant team, but just not quite enough.
Yeah, the rocket's coming out too. It's obviously going to be too late, and yeah, hell of a response from Tomato, to be fair. As F9, by the way, now down here, KZU does catch up to him, and he gets the kill, but now here comes the Echo Slam initiation from Earthshaker. Ice Blast hit, though. That Chain Frost is going to do work. In fact, it gets a double kill for Cinder and Chronosphere. Yes, it does come out. It's on a solo Lich, though, by himself. Oh, no. Now faces Void's in trouble. Did he overcommit? He does have a time walk. Direct Courier goes down in the midst of this. Cancel's dealing with Ancient Apparition. Now the time dilation popped on him, but he goes for the Ghost Walk. And Sidoi just has to keep running. Ooh, Sunstrike misses the A right there. Yeah, that was that was a Chronosphere that didn't seem like it was going to work from the beginning. From Sidoi.
Yeah, and just a perfect Chain Frost there from Lich. The Furion TP's right in next to his buddy, and Earthshaker's like, no! As a result, they both die from it, and they were really close to killing that. That was the opening of Nature's Prophet's Orchid as well. He just bought that Orchid in full, and he put it on the Invoker. Wasn't able to get the Sprout, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that's true. Nature's Prophet ports into the Ancient now, and gonna kill off the last Granite Golem at least, but unable to make quick use of that. Cinerin is charging middle lane, almost like he was just gonna Chain Frost or something, but no, it's on cooldown, just saying hello. Falls back, has level 4 armor now. He's level 14. I mean, this Lich he's higher level. He's 4th in the game as far as levels go. He is just doing well, and he did end up finishing that hand on Midas, so of course that answers that too. As top lane, by the way, Deafening Blast is out of range. A hookshot goes in front, but it actually allows it for the cogs, and the Sunstrike secures the kill. Well placed by KZU right there. That was, I don't even know, that might have been intended, to be honest, but anyways, either way, he does a good job getting him still and securing the kill with the hookshot cog. So another kill on a Mirana. You know, what was it, like 2 minutes ago, Tralf? I was just saying that only 5 hero kills for MidOrFeed here, and they're a little slow. Well, they're picking up now. Things are picking up.
Yeah, their cores are just really out farming the cores of Team Effect. If you just look at the cores, even without what's happened in the game, you look at Faceless Void and Mirana, they just don't farm nearly as fast. They kind of, especially Void, they need hero kills for him to farm fast. Unless, of course, you go for like a Battle Fury build on him, which we just never see anymore. For good reason. It's just, there's other builds that are just stronger right now, I think, in the metagame. But Invoker, Cancel, with someone knowing how to play it as well as him, he farms very, very quickly. Battle Fury up onto Monkey King, he's just naturally going to farm fast. And he's working his way towards, it looks like a Deso. Needs about 1,100 gold, actually 1,000 gold after cleaning up those Ancients for that. As he stands here right outside the spawn box, and Mag, he will fall. I missed that one. And Rocket to kill him from afar.
Yeah, Sunstrike there as well, of course, but now he might end up dying for this one. Although KZU, he's still nearby.
Him away.
Oh, you're right. He 4-staffs him away. The hookshot missed, but might even be for the better here. Oh, no, okay, they're pissed. They want this kill now. On clock and say, damn it, you're going down if we couldn't get the other kill. The Kofi does not proc the cock to help in a little bit. 4-staff in 3 seconds. We'll see if he can make a play with it. The urn goes up. Bash proc, though. There's that 4-staff. He's still going. No more cogs, though. And finally, they take down what seems to be a raid boss of sorts in the freaking Clockwork after all that time. So he saved his teammate. He died a hero.
Yeah, he did go for the +4 armor, so that had a bit to do with it. He went for a Yule's, actually, too. I like that because foregoing the +200 mana talent, that means you are going to have some issues with mana. So this gives him just extra movement speed, extra mana regen, good intel, and just obviously the Yule's effect in general. So nice 4-staff to save his buddy, and Nyx will be happy for that, I'm sure.
So I was wondering if Cancel was just going to go the same ability to last game, go on the Lincolns next even with that Ultimate Aura, but no, he's right now at least he has that Scythe queued up in this game instead.
It might go a nice arrow attempt. Maybe he could have waited for Earthshaker to pour it in for a stun, but he was very, very low, so I just wanted to throw the arrow and get back. But yeah, he is going to go for a Sheep Stick here first, and I mean, when you're ahead, I don't think it matters. Like, it's not like Lincoln's blocks really anything this game, right? I mean, Fisher still goes through it. The only thing I can see is Cold Feet. Orchid, yeah, but you can still Sprout, and then, yeah, I don't think it really needs Lincoln's this game.
All right, so the Scythe going to give them more control as well. And it blinks Scythe on any hero, let alone Invoker, is always going to be a very, very good combo to have, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Mirana, Diffusal Blade, just about finished for her. More damage coming. That BKB for Faceless Void, definitely going to be helpful, but again, you still have a Monkey King who's hitting really hard, man. We really haven't seen a lot out of Tomato this game as far as, you know, hero plays, but they've only had 11 kills in nearly 30 minutes, so again, it continues to be a very slower-paced game. But, man, this Monkey King, 16,000 plus net worth, he's keeping up / keeping ahead of what seems to be a free-farming Invoker as well, and again, Cancel does that very well, so
yeah.
Compliments of both.
What I like to do in terms of checking people's CS and figuring out why they are so farmed is you look at him with his Battle Fury, and he is kind of like running around and sitting in trees, so he's not just totally flash farming, but he still has 335 CS at 30-minute mark. And that's comparable, again, to like a free-farming anti-mage. Like I always say, if anti-mage is farming at about the 100 CS per 10 minutes, then you're in a really good spot. And that's usually what we see with free-farming anti-mages. And we're seeing that from a Monkey King. In fact, even more so. He's got over 300 before the 30-minute mark. So just to put in perspective of how well he's farming.
He goes elsewhere. That was Nature's Prophet coming up there checking it out. Bottom lane, we got the spiked carapace up, but I don't think he's going much further. The arrow connects, and they do run him down. Meanwhile, over here in the jungle, this is a Chronosphere into an Ice Blast. They may get Clockwork. It looks like they will, and they also get Lich on top of that. So that's the big combo from Effect, and that's 3 kills all of a sudden. They obviously still have Monkey King and Invoker to deal with, but 3 kills and happening in 2 different locations for Effect squad right here.
Oh, if this opens up a Roshan play, this could be a way to get back into the game. There's a double damage. Isn't that just strange? It seems like you mentioned that. Now I see it every single time. Double damage is just like, hey, would you like to Roshan? Here, let me help you out. As they do scout it out with a Sunstrike. Now Invoker is very, very good, like I said, at disrupting Rosh plays, but it is dying fast as a result of that double damage, which does really make a difference here in this. I mean, if they didn't have that double damage, maybe they take it slower. Maybe Invoker can buy some time for the respawns, but anyway, they do get the Roshan. Aegis up onto the bottom. Unfortunately, they weren't able to kill any of the big cores on Team MidOrFeed, but I'm sure they're happy with that exchange.
Yes.
Yeah, no, if you're Effect, with the way this game's been going especially, that's got to feel really good for you right now. Faceless Void, again, the full Mjolnir coming along, but more importantly, Mirana having that Aegis with a nice combo of damage items with the Manta Diffusal. Definitely a chance for Effect to get that Chronosphere back up in about 40 seconds. And they'll most certainly look to make some big plays once again with that. Echo Slam level 2 is also online. Hasn't been used in a while here. They did not need it in that Chronosphere initiation. Top lane, they could have a chance up here. Open on Nature's Prophet in the backline. Sunstrike, that's going to be a quick kill, perhaps. No, he barely stays alive. He 4 stats away. Now over here, Monkey King, Wukong's command going out on Sadoy. Sadoy nearly melts away, but he BKBs in time. Not going to help try to kill Nyx Assassin. They did get Nature's Prophet. AA is also picked off. That Chain Frost, great spread from Effect right there. It only hit the once. Impale does connect on Earthshaker, though. Remember, he still has Echo Slam, but he's just being pushed and pulled every which way. And now he's out of mana, so he couldn't even use it if he wanted to. So another kill in favor of MidOrFeed. And Invoker also tries to catch Mirana right there. She leaps away in time, but still MidOrFeed, they get quick exchange after what just happened at the bottom lane. They get 3 for themselves.
Yeah, and that Void rushed the Monkey King. And he like put his BKB on. He's like, "You ready to fight me, bro?" And Monkey King did not give 2 shits. I mean, he just cast the ultimate and just destroyed him. And Void quickly learned that he cannot at all man fight a Monkey King, let alone when he throws his ult down. So they got to approach that a little bit differently, as that was a huge swing. I mean, they still have Aegis, but that was like a 5k gold swing in favor of MidOrFeed. Squeehaw scouting out Alpha Ninja. He does have the Aegis, of course, that can maybe burn it, as it's not quite enough. One more auto attack. He blinks back in, but he's able to save it. Mag gets the Sprout. He's actually kind of stuck here. I don't know why he's stuck there. I think there's definitely room, but he gets the Orchid on top. There is no 4-staff play, and that will be attacked. Just if he attacked him one more time, none of that would have happened, but that's actually a hefty bounty, too, for just a support Nyx. Nearly 600 gold going the way of Mag.
Yeah, that was something. I mean, as you said, it attacked one more time. He thought the kill was had. He decided to just run around and you know, you get that. That kind of makes sense because support's probably coming. He wanted to get out ASAP. He thought he did the math appropriately and was like, okay, that's going to be enough for the kill. Let's get out. So I don't think he was trying to style on him by any means, but clearly he was wrong, and then it backfired, and we saw the end result there. So, unfortunately.
That's EU math for you, Breaky. EU math.
You did it. NA math over EU math, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
He didn't do the math.
Never ever. All right, we got, but he stays alive. He still has the Aegis. BKB now queued up for Mirana right here. But again, the big picture, it's still quite the hefty lead for MidOrFeed. So what do we say at the beginning of the game? Naturally, that means Effect is going to come back here. No, but really, this is just a case, though, where this is a lead, and with what's going on, that they should feel very comfortable with. Now, the one saving grace for Effect is simply that they do have the Chronosphere initiation. They have decent follow-up to it. If they get the cores especially, even just the Monkey King, if they pick him up quickly in a fight, it could definitely start to go in their favor a couple of times. But a lot of work to be done if you're Effect here.
If he gets his ultimate off, I don't think they win a fight. Like, he has so much armor with his Wukong's command plus like a Lich armor, and they're pretty much all physical damage. I mean, yeah, there's an Echo Slam, but it's kind of hard. You don't really want to jump into a Wukong command with Echo Slam. You're just going to die immediately. So they really have to make sure they prevent this ult coming out from Monkey King, or they're going to be in some big trouble.
Yeah, Butterfly now queued up for him. Hey man, usually Monkey King's this, especially in this core, like, is going to be promoting a very active game. But he's 1-1-5 at 36 minutes into the game now, so it's really not like been the most active game, but obviously it's not been necessary either for this team. And it seems like it'd be a silly question to suggest or ask, like, is that a issue for MidOrFeed? Like, should they have been more aggressive with the Monkey King? Or is it a case where he's getting so far ahead with the Invoker that it won't matter in the long run?
That depends on initiation, and we're going to see that right here. If he gets his ult off and he doesn't get caught or anything like that, then oh, here we go. Hex up. Sadoy trying to find an ultimate.
Whew. Wow, that was a quick pick on a Nature's Prophet. There's that Chronosphere coming out, but Monkey King, he's taking through the damage. Arrow, though, assists. He cannot get the Wukong's command. Not possibly can be. It's too late, though, and that's exactly what we're talking about for Effect's favor. They do get the pick, a 2-for-1 so far. They're hunting for more. Cancel's going to try to slow them down with an Ice Path. And that he will, the Ice Wall even. But Nyx Assassin cannot get away. Now Sadoy, he found KheZu. KheZu more so found them, jumped in. And that's going to prove it backfire. Maybe, oh, they do take out Faceless Void, though. Cancel throws out the meatball and secures that one at least. But they lose a couple more, so it ends up numbers-wise definitely looking good for Effect.
No, the Deafening Blast doesn't stun you anymore, and he could have easily time-walked out of that, but it pushed him through the cogs, which stunned him just for a little bit, and he wasn't able to time-walk. That was really unfortunate for him, I'm sure.
And you know what? At the end there, well, we're in a pot.
Void, but
yeah, I think you DC'd again for a second.
Yeah, that internet though.
But yeah, that's interesting with the Clockwork interaction there with the cog getting pushed into it. Unfortunately, ended up helping to secure the kill on it. But also, I was gonna say though, at the very end there too, we also see, as we're paused, Cancel did use his BKB on complete accident. There was no reason to use it. He just actually was farming bottom lane, and then he ended up using it. Now he's actually just TPing out because I think he knows that they saw that, and maybe they're going to try to go for him, but...
well, that's his 10-second BKB, too.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I'm really surprised Monkey King didn't cast his ult there, because as you can probably hear Alexa screaming in the background. Nice. I don't even know what triggered that, but... yeah, I'm pretty sure he had vision of the Void, and Void was kind of deciding whether he wanted to ult or not. Gets a really good one. Did take some time taking him down, and if they didn't get that arrow follow-up directly after the chrono, I don't think they get that kill. So nicely played by the Potom there. But yeah, you can see right there to answer your question. Like if he gets the ult off, he'll be fine. But if they're able to catch him before he ulties, then all that farm goes to waste.
Perfect example. Effect. Cutting that lead a little bit at least. It's still a 12K lead. Sunstrike, that won't even hit Mirana. That'll be a middle tower kill on top of that. So they win the fight as far as hero kills go. They take the objective with the tier 2 tower, and now they can fall back pretty comfortably for now. Kind of reset some things, get more farm on your what's essentially a tri-core lineup going up against a dual core. of the other side. Of course, Nature's Prophet and Mirana going along with a Faceless Void here. So, yeah, if this game does continue to last, you know, a good 10, 15 more minutes at least, and we're not, you know, swaying one way or the other too much, then MidOrFeed has to be a little bit more concerned, but they do get a free pick right there on Ancient Apparition. That's that Nyx Sunstrike combination. It's been stressing throughout and seen several times. Guess the saving grace if you're MidOrFeed is that if it does start to go a little bit the other way, you do have Lich Armor that will make it a little more difficult for Effect to start breaking the base themselves.
Yeah, I think the overlining issue with these teams that we've seen, that we've cast so far in this tournament, is that the gold lead doesn't matter if you're not able to do anything with it. We've seen that in a number of games where a team, for example, like right now, has been up 12K, but they're still, it feels like they're not up that much because of their execution, or maybe just the draft or whatever, or just even individual play, what have you. But right now, yes, they are up 12K, but it just doesn't feel like it, does it, Breaky?
No.
Like, it feels like...
And that's kind of just been the theme of this event as a whole, so I think it's not necessarily maybe fair to them, just them alone, but it just really has been the theme of this event. Multiple teams, for whatever reason. It's like that one team has a lead, and it just doesn't feel like they really have a lead, and the results have kind of shown that. We've had many of comebacks in this event over this last week here. And just even from the previous game that we saw with Effect, of course, and now it's feeling like that. I'm with you. It's... I would almost lean towards saying that Effect has the advantage, frankly, because of just what we've been seeing recently, even though they're down 11,000 net worth. It is something at this point.
Really does come down to initiation at this point. There is no Echo Slam as it was used on the Nyx. Very on steeping, and they do use a Palm multi to maybe find something. But again, it is of paramount importance that they kill this Monkey King, or at least initiate on him before he casts that Wukong's command. And I'm not sure if he had Lich Armor for the last engagement. He was very, very tanky, of course, with the Butterfly. Oh, wait, he doesn't have it yet, actually.
Almost.
But he's still really tanky. Maybe he did have Lich Armor, maybe he didn't. But like I said, just the main issue is that they need to kill him or initiate onto him before he casts that ultimate. If he casts his ultimate before the Chrono, it's over. They will not win that fight. Or the Dire will not win that fight.
Yeah.
What I mean.
So exactly, it happens to be in many of games that initiation going to be huge, and more so in Effect, really the Faceless Void Chronosphere. It's like, can he find the right target, specifically that Monkey King, and try to blow him up in this fight like we had the last time around. Nature's Prophet, he's going to go with Scythe to try to help with that cause, so that'll be a nice tool to prevent that as well. And Mirana's already answering with an MKB. She actually almost has it. A Demon Edge already finished, and a couple of Javelins in queue. It's 3,000 gold in total, of course. They're setting up as if they're going to smoke. There is a gem, by the way, on Earthshaker 2 right here. But what is it? What the hell? Nyx is all the way up here. Is he really trying to snipe the courier? Oh, my God.
I think he is.
Wait, they see him.
There is an Earthshaker. I don't know if they actually see him. Oh, they did!
They
popped up.
Something saw him.
He has a Yules. Can maybe Yules blink? Or just blink? There will not be another stun.
Gosh, okay.
It's unfortunate for them, but fortunate for Weehaw, as he does get picked off.
Well, even though, so he doesn't get the courier, but you know what? They were clearly kind of setting up to try to maybe make a smoke play or something, but he ends up distracting them, and he gets out, and they just kind of have to reset back to farming now, so still a minor victory for Wii. What just happened right there, but yeah, that was, I was expecting Nature's Prophet to be, and I'm like, wait, he's on their team, that doesn't make sense, and all of a sudden Nyx Assassin just finds himself in the base. Almost got it. Speaking of smoke, though, Radiant side, they're doing one of their own. Butterfly's finished on Monkey King here.
Bottom just bought out, so she recognizes that Monkey King has the... this could be really bad. If they fight right before this Mirana gets her MKB, she just bought it. She has no buyback, so she has to be very, very careful. But if they do find a good initiation, this could be disastrous for MidOrFeed. Double damage on bottom, full MKB, so that Butterfly is not going to feel any effect here, at least for the Mirana. And she's also got the Purge for the Ice Armor, so if it is applied beforehand, she can just purge it off. Varian going in here aggressively.
Yeah.
Wants to make sure that they can scout out Roche, and there is no Roshan being done just yet. But here we go.
By the way,
it all comes down to initiations.
MKB also picked up on Faceless Void, so they do have a couple right here. You mentioned Mirana, double damage. Okay, Casey goes in, he finds a couple. The Scythe comes out of Mirana in the back lane, so cancel. He's going to be stunned out. The Chrono Spear on top of him. They're looking to lock him down, get the kill first. Wukong's going to no, he's going to be silenced up with the Orchid. He goes for the BKB. He'll finally get off the Wukong, and look at Faceless Void. He's no longer in the game. Gets deleted as soon as that Wukong's went off. That's what you're talking about, TraLF. If he's able to activate that, you see what can happen. A double kill, and now a nice transition into Roshan. So, effect, it was an okay response initially, blowing up cancel, but clearly Monkey King, that's the target you really need to be worried about.
It really, I mean, I saw it, I was like, wow, this looks like a great start. Yeah, they're going to kill the Invoker before he does anything, but I knew in the back of my mind, if you use this Chrono, this is going to be bad, because that really needs to be done on the Monkey King. And they had the Orchid right away, but the BKB was popped, and the Echo Slam was trying to start the chain of stuns onto Tomato before he was able to cast the BKB, but he got it off just before the Echo, so the Echo did nothing. And as a result, you saw what happened. I mean, he literally like two-shot, or maybe even one-shot that Void.
It was like one shot put him at like 5%, and then the second one to finish the job. Yeah, it was nearly pretty much almost a one-shot. So top racks will go down again. No buybacks, the other big thing. You were mentioning that. They committed towards MKBs right there going into that fight, and it's hard to argue against that, but at the same time, this is the downside, because now their base is being pushed in with no buyback. And Monkey King, he does have a BKB.
He has a Battle Fury, and he does have a Battle Fury to get out of the trees. But yeah, like I said, it is of paramount importance that they can't let this Monkey King cast ult, and now he's got an Aegis. So now you're in a really rough spot. Now you have to kill him once before the Chrono. You can't use Chrono on him to initiate because you need to save that for the Aegis. And you have to hope that he doesn't use BKB when you kill him the first time, because you can just Chrono it the second time. Yeah. So it's really rough for them, really hard. Now they do still have 2 lanes, which is fine.
Yeah, no, the game's still not over for sure, but what you're saying there, and on paper, it does sound like a near impossible task, frankly, unless MidOrFeed kind of just does some derpy stuff right here. And in some ways, it's their games to throw.
The way they start this next fight is they have to start with an Echo on Monkey King. That's the only. They have to start with Echo, chain of initiation onto him, and then save the Chrono for afterwards. But Furion getting gone on. Oh, there's a stun to stop him at least for now. Arrow to follow as well. This is maybe a kill first. They can maybe use the Chrono afterwards.
Okay.
Yep, okay, they killed him once. They still have Chrono. This is a way to start it off, Breaky.
Echo Slam still ready as well. There goes the Chrono. They do get a couple. Monkey King included. Of course, Clockwork actually caught in there as well. The damage is real. Monkey King will fall. So there you go. There's something canceled. Going for Earthshake in the back line. It's not enough. There's the buyback. So now this is interesting. Monkey King, he is going to port to the shrine and try to run back in. He is a little far, though. He still has Wukong's command, though. And Nyx buys back. Wow, MidOrFeed's really going all in here. This is a desperate decision.
They still have Echo.
Oh, the big Echo open right there. No arrow follow-up. The Balance Strike crit comes out, and Earthshaker and Mirana melt like they weren't even there themselves. And now Faceless Void, he too is going to go for the dieback. No, the time walk at the last second, but you know what? It really doesn't matter. GGs are now even being called. It is official indeed.
If that arrow hits after the Echo, that maybe could have been a swing back the other way.
Yeah.
But he was barely able to get the BKB off, stop the chain of stuns, and as a result, the game is over. So Dota, I've heard it so many times, but Dota really is a game of inches. Just small little things can make the biggest difference, even at the very end of a game.
We saw right there a perfect example. Again, it's committing to the buyback. So you could tell they were just done. They wanted to finish this. They wanted to be done, and they are. They do come through with a victory, but credit to Effect, because that was what they needed at the very end right there. Their execution was actually pretty on point, and they almost actually made the comeback hold real at the very end there. But a little bit too much. We got to see a really, really farmed Monkey King in action, which we honestly don't get a lot of, and you definitely see the damage output that he can do when he has farm such as that. So our series for today is going to be coming to a conclusion. Again, MidOrFeed will take the series 2-1, thus getting the 3 points for themselves. Effect at least gets the 1 point. This is obviously the group stages, guys, so going to clarify what this is about. This is the European region portion. There's 8 teams in it. There's a Group A and a Group B. This was from the Group B action. The top 2 teams move on to a playoff stage. where then so then 4 teams compete in the playoffs, and then the top 2 of that actually get invited to the land final portion of this event, as well as they compete for what's a $50,000 prize pool in this portion. So it's a pretty cool event for in that sense, where you got money on the line for both the online qualifiers and then even more for the land the land event itself. So that's what's going on. Get more information on Wikipedia or whatever Dota 2 coverage site you look forward to using. But our day for today is going to be coming to conclusion. Tralf, any last words, any shout-outs from yourself here?
No, just thanks for having me, and the games were really fun to watch. I mean, again, one thing I do love about these games in this tournament so far is we've seen a lot of different strategies and a lot of different heroes. It's fun to not see the same heroes picked up every single game. Obviously, you have a certain couple of heroes like Lich and Prophet and whatnot, but this is, I mean, it's rare to see teams third picking Invoker and making it work, and that's exactly what MidOrFeed did this game.
That is, so props to Cancel for playing it well, and props to MidOrFeed on the victory right here. But that is going to wrap it up for today. The coverage, though, will continue tomorrow, this being the SkinCoin WCA event. So once again, you type !SkinCoin in chat for information on the giveaway. You can also go to skincoin.org, check out the latest cryptocurrency in the esports market. You can trade in for your favorite Dota 2 and even CSGO skins as well. Again, that's skincoin.org. Today, though, we are wrapping up. Tomorrow, there will be a couple. Right now, there's a couple matches scheduled. Obviously, the schedule for this event has been a little sporadic as we moved on here. There's other events going on, and it's been bouncing around a little bit here and there. But as I have right now, tomorrow's matches are MidOrFeed versus Kingwin, and then that'll be followed by Mousesports versus Effect here. That's old Group B action. Those are the 4 teams in Group B. So it's set to start at 1700 Central European Time, or what is 11 a.m. Eastern, guys. So if you're curious, it'll be on this same stream, twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit, and we continue on into this later part of the week, into next weekend even, I believe, where the playoffs are going to be wrapping up then. But look forward already to continuing coverage. As TraLF said, this has been a lot of fun covering this event so far, and looking forward to more entertaining matches ahead of us here. But tonight, guys, we are wrapping up. Again, I was BreakyCPK, joined by TraLF. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Congrats again to MidOrFeed today.